Good morning and welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the program that brings you in-depth analysis and thoughtful discussion on the day's most significant stories. I'm your host Barbara, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We begin with a fascinating story from Albania, where the government has taken an unprecedented step by appointing an AI-generated minister to manage public tenders. This move is part of Prime Minister Edi Rama's efforts to tackle corruption and increase transparency in the country. The AI minister, named Diela, which means son in Albanian, addressed Parliament for the first time yesterday, defending its role as a tool designed to help people, not replace them. This development has sparked intense debate, with some hailing it as a bold innovation and others criticizing it as unconstitutional. The opposition has expressed concerns that Diela's appointment could lead to more corruption rather than less, and has vowed to take the matter to the Constitutional Court. As we explore this story, it's essential to consider the context of Albania's struggles with corruption. The country ranks 80th out of 180 countries in Transparency International's Corruption Index, and Prime Minister Rama has made tackling corruption a key priority in his bid to lead Albania into the European Union by 2030. The appointment of an AI minister raises important questions about the role of technology in governance and the potential benefits and drawbacks of relying on artificial intelligence to make decisions. While some argue that AI can bring greater efficiency and transparency, others worry about accountability and the potential for bias in decision-making algorithms. As we delve deeper into this story, we'll examine the implications of Albania's experiment with AI governance and what it might mean for other countries considering similar approaches. We'll also discuss the challenges and opportunities that arise when technology meets politics. For now, let's take a closer look at Diela's address to Parliament, where she emphasized her commitment to transparency and fairness. The AI minister stated, "I assure you, I embody these values as rigorously as any human colleague." Perhaps even more so. This statement highlights the tension between the potential benefits of AI in reducing corruption and the concerns about accountability and control. As we continue to explore this story, we'll strive to provide a balanced and nuanced perspective, considering multiple viewpoints and evaluating the evidence. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. We're glad you're joining us again as we dive into another important story making headlines today. In our previous segment, we briefly mentioned the topic of the previous segment. Now, let's turn our attention to a significant development in Australia, where recent data has shed light on the country's population growth and migration trends. According to reports from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the country's population growth has slowed down to near three-year lows, with net migration figures coming in 17,000 people, lower than what the government had forecast for the full 2024-25 financial year. This news contradicts claims made during protests last month that immigration was surging out of control. The data shows that annual population growth has slowed to 1.56%, with the country adding 423,400 residents in the 12 months to the end of March, reaching a total population of 27.5 million. It's also worth noting that while net overseas migration accounted for 100 people in the quarter, this number is highly seasonal, often influenced by factors such as international students moving into the country at the start of the year. The natural increase, which includes births minus deaths, added 34,200 people in the quarter, a 48% jump on the December result. Economists are weighing in on what these numbers might mean for Australia's economy. Some suggest that if the slowdown in migration continues, it could pose risks to the overall economy, particularly if it results in fewer international students, who are not only an important source of labor supply, but also contribute significantly to education exports, which are Australia's fourth largest export by value. On the other hand, the jobs market is showing signs of pressure, with total employment across the country barely growing over the past 4 months. There was a sharp fall in full-time positions in August, with 41,000 fewer jobs, although the unemployment rate remained steady at 4.2% due to a decrease in people looking for work and an increase in part-time employment. It's clear that these statistics provide a complex picture of Australia's economic and demographic landscape. As we consider these developments, it's essential to approach the conversation with fairness and balance, recognizing both the challenges and opportunities presented by population growth and migration trends. As we move forward, understanding these dynamics will be crucial for policymakers, economists, and the public alike. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're wrapping up today's show with a critical look at the ongoing situation in the Middle East, specifically the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. As we've been following the developments, a recent statement by Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich has sparked international concern. According to reports, Smotrich referred to the Gaza Strip as a potential real estate bonanza and mentioned that he's in talks with the U.S. about dividing up the territory after the war. Now, let's break it down. Smotrich's comments come amidst widespread destruction in Gaza, with the United Nations estimating that 92% of housing units have been damaged or destroyed. The international community has condemned Israel's military campaign, and the idea of forced displacement of Palestinians is a clear violation of international law. On the other hand, Israeli officials argue that their actions are necessary to ensure national security and respond to attacks from Hamas. However, it's essential to acknowledge the human cost of this conflict, with over 65,000 people killed in Israeli attacks since October 2023, according to Gaza's health ministry. As we strive for fairness and balance, it's crucial to recognize the complexities of this issue and the deeply held convictions on both sides. The U.S. has been involved in discussions about a potential trusteeship for Gaza, which would involve administering the territory for at least a decade while developing it into a tourism resort and high-tech manufacturing hub. While some may see this as an opportunity for economic growth, others view it as a threat to Palestinian sovereignty and self-determination. As we navigate these nuances, it's essential to prioritize empathy, understanding, and respect for human rights. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.